Because this guy, he don't know what he's doing. I have to show him my 19 ladies.
He was fairly well known. What's going on, brother?
Do you want a handshake? What did you want? I saw that.
My hands are all sweaty, so it's
Oh,
whatever.
that's all
man.
good. All right. Well, in that case, let me know.
Did you see the guy? Did you see those kids who went into the recruiting place?
There was a while back. You mean it was like a couple weeks ago?
No, I'm talking about like a month or two ago. It just got released. Guys are from Chicago, and they got recruited for 2 weeks.
You talking about the Albanians, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I actually contacted them.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So I know their exact accent and everything, and I thought it was hilarious.
As soon as I saw it, because I looked at the rest of the TikTok, and then I was DMing with them and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, you guys are just. It'd be good if you do an interview with them.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to. I reach out to them. I just haven't heard back, but if you reach out to them.
I've been talking to them, so I will
feel free to copy me.
Because I think you guys, that would be a good interview.
Oh, happily, yeah. There's a good amount of info I have on an actual site they were trying to do over in Albania, and there's a whole project. So yeah, I'd love to.
And you look at his TikTok, it's it's obviously not all Scientology.
Correct.
It's
entertainment, music, all cool stuff.
With the Albanian
community, the outreach.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot to talk about.
Absolutely.
So I think like you guys did a show where you talk about what you did going into Scientology.
Absolutely.
And some of that footage is amazing.
It is. It's golden, and it's thank God it's not California or any other two-party state. So.
I mean, I think they will try to mess with it.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
I think they will try to litigate.
If they haven't already.
But I think they've also reached a point where if they try to do something with litigation, they will have no problem getting defense. Like everybody would reach out and they would raise a ton of money
I agree.
to take care of all that.
I agree.
And it would create that sort of Streisand effect where it's going to be more bad publicity on them that it's probably just not worth doing.
Well, I mean, listen, man, the fact that Heidi Boo is in love with me because I outed her admitting on record where she knew my entire case was frivolous at the Sherman Oaks event, that blew her completely out of the water. It's because of that event and the fact that I was acquitted of my charge that she's got herself into a lot of trouble. There's people from the state bar that I guarantee you probably had other grudges against her and are finally like, thank God, now we can finally go after her in a legitimate fashion. And so it's just not good to leave a legacy where you're doing political favors for this place. Anywhere else, I think people here can be quite forgiving, but the fact that this is so viral, the fact that it's re-election, that's exactly the point.
Listen, I'm a big believer in timing of things.
That was golden.
I sit on information forever and use it at the most opportune time. Because a lot of times if you just put it out there, it doesn't get real traction.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is with them, when it comes to timing, we have an election next year.
Yeah.
Can you get this to her?
And we have an election next year, and outside of Florida, where is there a place where they have a bigger footprint than here? And quite honestly, in CG13.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so do these politicians, I plan every single one of them needs to be put on record where they stand on their stance of Scientology's toxic excess. Karen Bass is going to get it.
Yeah.
Hugo's is going to get it.
No,
all of them are going to get it. They're all going to have to go on record. And who is going to be like defend Scientology or even be wishy-washy?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you try to do that one, then me, I'll just be the biggest. I'll hammer it and hammer it and hammer it.
Easiest place to do that, right? So. Golden opportunity. We got a solid minute to talk to Mayor Bass. She had, again, one of those secret meetings that is, in fact, public. They're supposed to take public comment.
You want to see Karen Bass tonight?
And I saw her. I would love to see Karen Bass. I saw her in the morning. Hold on.
Wait,
Yeah, so I mean, getting any politician on the record to say,
If they say nothing, then you hammer them for saying nothing.
right,
Saying nothing is not a good, is the same thing as defending something.
absolutely, absolutely.
You confront them. Everybody, they can't act like they don't know. So you just get them on the record. What is your view on this? Should this happen?
Yeah.
Oh, it's great meeting
Yes.
you, Roberto.
Well, that's why I kept bugging on the 4th floor where their staffers are. I sat there for a solid 2 hours. I just called each CD member and I asked them on their stance regarding Insight Safe. And then I went through it, just sequentially, got them on the record, and it's
safe, man.
yeah.
So yeah, I was going to, if you want me to sign it, I forgot to ask you. Oh, you found, okay, good.
But I got to talk to Heidi today. She was testifying during the Budget and Finance Committee about the use of funds regarding various homeless programs.
And what'd she say?
And she basically had to keep saying that the city has decided to get outside counsel because there's matters that we can't discuss.
Yeah,
And,
what a chicken shit.
what she's talking about is the fact that we're all being criminally charged. We're going to go to prison. That's what we can't represent ourselves.
Here's what I'll say. I will say this. I haven't told this to anybody. I know for a fact that the Justice Department is criminally investigating LASA
Yep.
and looking into city homelessness programs. I know that for a fact.
The DOJ launched the task force specifically for that too.
Hello, introduction.
How are you?
That's Mona.
Take a hug.
How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
It's hot as hell out here.
It is hot as hell.
It's a hot.
And Ganja.
How are you doing?
What's up?
It's hot out here.
But they wanted to come down and see.
See this place all closed up.
I was here the other day, yesterday, and I was talking to those guys, and they said, you just missed streets. I was like, no wonder the place is closed.
Was it yesterday? What time was
2
that?
days ago, maybe?
Oh yeah, so that was 2 days ago. That was an interesting day. Oh, no, was it
It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
driving around.
I wasn't able to get close. Earlier today, like I was telling her, earlier today I was sneaking up because you could sneak along the wall from over there. And I say it all the time, the cameras can't pick it up. Jessica likes coming from over there and she used to get them, but the cameras can pick it up now. And I was coming along the wall and I didn't see the signs outside.
On the side or
And the doors weren't open, nothing. I'm like, I snuck off on it. Good. Like, how did they catch me? And I looked over there and that's when Dan walks the light was sitting over there. So he had been out here and he shut them down.
Awesome. I love seeing it. Every time I get shut down, it shuts down. I'm so happy. Thank you, Circa. Ranch Shrimp. I can't see traffic with the sun. Do you want to sit on this side? Or you want? Yeah.
What's that?
I love the sun. You want some shade and switch?
Oh no, I'm good. For
I
now.
love the sun.
I've already had my sunburn during the protest covering them last week.
You did such great work. Oh man, you.
My whole head just.
You know he has legendary footage of getting trampled by horse cops. You can take that footage.
You were in the middle of that, right by the city hall, right in the park, right?
No, I'm not at the I'm at the horse. I was chasing the
Right by Los Angeles, where they have that little underground parking lot. So that block that you said was in front by Maine, it wasn't. It was Los Angeles, and that's where they had their horse cops on.
Let me ask you something. When you started hearing the explosions and stuff,
I was 2 blocks away.
you were 2 blocks, so you weren't right there when it happened?
You're talking about West Temple, where they started gassing?
Well, I mean, at any given time, because at one point they started on Temple.
Right.
Because
That's where I was at.
And you had 4 different forces. You had LASD, you had the
CHP.
sheriffs, CHP, LAPD. I mean, even had the Homeland Security over there.
Yeah.
But it seemed peaceful, and they were chanting peaceful protests, and just out of nowhere it escalated, and then it continued escalating.
That's exactly what happened.
And then they said that bricks were thrown, and I didn't know bricks were thrown.
No, Little Tokyo, that little shopping mall there, that's where he and I came out of. Within minutes of us arriving there, no dispersal warning, they immediately started shooting. I got pelted. I was top of a ledge. I fell back. I almost tore my ACL because they shot by the brush where I was at, causing me to fall back.
They didn't escalate that.
They absolutely did.
I actually, during the height of the protest, I was like, I got off the freeway and I said, you know what, let me just drive downtown. I drove down First Street.
Yeah.
you know, normally during a protest when there are tens of thousands of people, but you could actually drive down the street. Like, that's as peaceful as it gets.
There was buses going through, no problem.
And then next thing you know, out of nowhere, it escalated.
They just ramped it, yeah.
Also, last Sunday, it got out of control. They burnt the Waymos.
That was, yeah.
But I noticed that night when I was over there, they left LAPD headquarters completely. They had nobody around it.
Yes.
It was basically, they were inviting people to trash.
Yes.
It was the weirdest thing.
Yes.
So they could justify.
Well, it's...
Here's my favorite person.
Oh, what up?
What my...
It was a lot of hard work. I agree with that. They trained me.
They're hiding.
Hi, baby.
He would have been.
Oh, this looks like fun.
Man, did you go to the open protest?
Which one? I've been in the middle of all that.
I know, I'm saying. What did it take?
I was live streaming. Shannon!
There she is.
Shannon.
Yeah, that was Shannon.
There goes Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
Hey, don't call my fucking name.
I didn't call your name. I didn't call your name. Your name is Shannon. Well, I can say whatever I want. I was talking to Shannon in there. I wasn't talking to you.
Okay, well, let me
Go do your thing. There you go. There you go. Do your thing. No, I'm not. Just because, hey, you and the nation want to do your thing. You and the nation can do your thing. Nobody talking to you. I was talking to Shannon. Shannon went to hide because she's embarrassed. That's on Shannon.
Yes, it's a crime. They audit children, and they have children's auditors.
But they right now they have Nation of Islam classes up in there.
Yeah.
So my thing is if they choose to go in there, they choose to go in there. That's on them. Right?
It's a crime to do that to children.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna choose to do it, but you know, if they're in it, but if they're trying to bring in new people.
It's a crime to do that. To have children audited is a crime. But should be. I mean, it's not.
That's what the NOI does. They do auditing training.
Yes.
That's what the two of them.
See, not us.
You should not have your child.
Take care, brother.
I would don't have your child.
Yeah. The Nation of Islam works.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That makes me sad to see.
I mean, they say white man is the devil, but L. Ron Hubbard is somehow the one person.
I hear you. Unless he's very light-skinned.
Out of all the white people, L. Ron Hubbard, of all he's people, we're gonna learn from him. They treat him like the same. It's not right. It's not right.
That man, he doesn't like any race, any ethnicity.
All the
any
top
other
NOI go
anything.
through all the teachings, OT levels.
They learn primarily starting with how to be auditors, doing the auditing that they talk about, which is the whole process of brainwashing people.
Very,
My thing
sexual
is,
question.
if they're gonna associate with them, then they get smoked too.
Yeah,
That's just the way it
absolutely.
works. That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
And it's not like they don't know.
Now, if they don't want to be filmed going through the door,
Excuse me, can I get a photo?
that's all.
Streets LA, right?
What's going on, brother? From Miami? Is it after visiting? Alright. Listen, it's a hotter there here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm head out. I'll be right back.
Take care.
Thank you.
Nice seeing you. How long you guys staying for?
Week.
Okay. Be safe out here. I apologize. Hollywood isn't exactly what you're expecting. I know you expect better. We'll do better eventually.
That's all the second.
Huh?
recording?
I am.
Recording? Okay.
You don't want to be on? You don't want to be recorded?
Huh?
You don't.
No, I said, I gotta do something. I have to crush some cans.
I can't.
We
Hear
want you to watch his bike.
Crush some cans.
Oh, you want me to watch it?
Huh?
I didn't hear you.
No, I gotta crush some cans right now. I'm not out of your way. Give me a couple of trees.
How much is these cost?
They took out 1,500. There's more. There's 3,000.
How long is the charge you got?
This guy, 25 hours.
That's what streets needs. It's like everything needs streets. What about? Yeah.
No, he needs like the scooter I got. He's a scooter only guy.
You know what it was is during the protest they shut down the scooters downtown.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, what am I supposed to do?
You gotta get one of those, like the one I got. That thing rips and it easily folds up.
I was stuck. And then they shut down Ubers.
Yeah.
So then one night I had to walk to the edge of downtown, then take a scooter home from there.
As long as your ego isn't hurt, because you're gonna look goofy either way on
I'm
whatever
not a
scooter.
goofy. I'm a 50-year-old man on a scooter.
That's good.
That's pretty
That's
goofy
good.
as it is.
They were throwing them over the overpass?
Well, I was so heartbroken seeing that because I saw it was so hard to get scooters that day. I had parked mine strategically. And next thing I know, I see them coming over with the scooter and throwing it over the overpass. I was like,
Oh, but then I saw them,
Tactical
I was like,
scooter.
laughing, but like, oh my god.
because the things are jumping off in 5 different areas, so
Yeah.
it's like the only way to get
Yeah.
around was a scooter. And then Chris put out a Hellcat found you could do the bicycle things.
Yeah.
They're not very fast, but it was better
No.
than nothing. Protests are over essentially.
They are.
Yeah, they are. Like,
That's why they started resuming all
That's what
the
they said.
commission meetings and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a whole bunch of like cops came in like in riot gear. And
I,
bust them.
I saw SWAT go by.
Yeah, a whole bunch of them came running out of the meeting.
They have city council.
They did. Regular city council. They had the charter reform commission today too. They appointed the people that were gonna
necessary.
Be, yeah.
I was Brian White. I was White for some time.
I need to see what Jamie York has to say about that.
Well, listen, I asked them, you know, I know at least one of them is actually a VP over at, was it Aetna Health, that provides services to programs like Inside Safe. So I asked them, are you doing any vetting of any conflicts of interest on the people you're appointing to the Charter Reform Commission or not?
What they say?
I mean, they're obviously not going to say anything, but on the Board of Public Works, perfect example, John Grant, a paid board member, was brought in through the advice of a unregistered lobbyist, but a known lobbyist. His name came up during Ethics Commission because he got a board seat and the person never registered as a lobbyist, and they questioned, how is this not some sort of political interest that you're doing a favor for one to another? This is the kind of buffoonery that...
I'm gonna start over here. I'm gonna start this over here and see if I get another one.
So they do mostly NOI stuff here now.
I've been seeing more and more NOI going here, and they have different entrances they could go in,
Yeah.
but they've been purposely having going here, and every time they go through here, they get into an argument. Like they really bullied Cutsy one day.
Yeah.
Cutsy and
Who's bullying them?
this one guy, he keeps on every time he comes by, he'll like get in an argument, he'll put on one glove like he's gonna do something. He's a really goofy guy.
Wow.
But you know, he always starts a big argument. Like, it's strategic. They're trying to make sure they want to create a conflict there. But
Yeah, we're
at the end of the
sorry.
day, this is a losing battle. Everybody that walks past here, just
Well,
if we weren't here right now, these kids were coming up to this door right now, banging on the door.
I'm gonna fight, but
Well, even during council meetings, as there are new people that attend, the moment they hear Scientology, I always turn around and I see people going on their phone, opening the social media, and I see most of our channels that they pop up, and they're like, oh crap, this council member isn't saying anything about Scientology. Oh crap, this commissioner.
Scientology is so viral right now.
Yeah.
They don't want to be on the wrong side of that.
It's a perfect way to smoke out all the other, all the other just foolishness, really.
Yeah.
And that's how I see them too. Like, yeah, Scientology's bad, but it's a great way to smoke out all the other fools that think they can go away with stuff.
Trying to see if there are any messages.
it's very old. Sorry guys, but it is. I'm just gonna flat out say it. It's very old.
You got to tell him what happened to Shirt Guy. They denied him food and they kicked him out just because he hangs with us. He hasn't even said anything publicly about Scientology,
Yeah.
but just because he's here, they won't give him food no
He's
more.
friends with me.
That's how it works. Take
He's
care,
a very
brother.
good, dang good friend. He's becoming a cop, but I'm gonna have him on speed dial, so no worries. Things good. He's gonna be on speed dial for us. Yeah.
Well, you know he has a BSIS card, right?
He said he let it.
Nah.
Take care, bro.
If you ever want a personal guard, there you go. He's going to be your inside source in the LAPD soon enough too. He's finishing the academy and everything.
I think people are so pissed off internally that there are so many sources right now. It's going to be interesting what happens over the next couple months.
I was saying at the police commissioners meeting, You know, it might be worth it for me to throw my hat in the ring. Maybe I can join the LAPD too.
Yeah, he's the one that people always sit in with.
I haven't heard much on Heredia either, ever since he's been chewed out for
Heredia?
canceling the CPABs.
Yeah, I know. He still hasn't scheduled one. He'll probably use the excuse as the protests.
Yeah, because they're all the way out here, right?
I'm gonna get some change. I think if I can get some water right there. I'm gonna go.
Oh, thank you, Sophia Kid. Speak good. Thank you so much. Great job to all who contributed to the event. Yes, right. Lots to feel good about. Thank you so much. It does. It feels great. It was busy. Yeah, it was such an amazing event.
Did you tell him about? Yeah, I was gonna say. Did you talk about the event?
Slow right now.
Talk about.
Yeah, the event was so amazing.
What a legend. Utter legend. Constant troops circling just for us.
I want to explain because people don't think they understand. Because I've caught a lot of flack.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. Nobody should be given.
I'm gonna do it anyway because June 15th, 2021, my son died. Yesterday was the 4-year anniversary of that, and it just happened to fall on Father's Day too. So to think
I would not. And see, I knew, but I didn't know what I could say. I didn't know what I could say or not say.
Yeah, I just that. I couldn't have that day spending it not with my family and with a lot of strangers. I hate to say it that way. I just couldn't do it.
That's a time
No,
for
I'm gonna tell you
more.
what. I actually got annoyed though. I like in the mornings, I hear somebody knocking at my door, and I was sleeping. I just didn't feel like, and then I hear somebody knocking at my window, and I go to the door, and it was somebody there giving me flowers. Like they came to my house, and then they said they wanted to talk about Scientology. I'm like, what are you doing, knocking on my windows and stuff?
You know
They
who?
said they came from Nevada or something. It was.
Because you're getting famous now.
No,
You're gonna need like more security. You know. No, you are. You're really getting known. Like seriously, you're stepping up.
Scientology is
to-
getting.
But see, they're coming to mine too. They're coming to. See, they probably thought you were part of it.
Once you, oh man, it's just.
They're not gonna mind.
Don't come to my house, you know.
But they came to my house. They're talking to my neighbors and calling my kid. Calling my kid, harassing her. They moved the porta potty.
Audit had told us about your son, about the anniversary.
I told her, yeah, I told her.
I've been getting so many messages like, "How could you not show up?" And like,
And I said, no, it's X. No,
People can go
that's
kick rocks.
ridiculous. That makes no sense.
People can kick rocks.
Nobody's business.
I just want. It's like, again, like I said, I couldn't spend that day
No,
not
with
with
anyone
my
but
family.
with family.
Yeah,
No.
just how.
And I said there is a very good reason. I don't want, because that's not my thing to tell. I didn't know if I was in confidence or not.
It's just,
But no, I mean, I know streets.
I just
would
wanted
have
to get.
my back.
I just wanted to get to 12:01 a.m. That's all.
I can
I spent the
imagine.
whole day just
I
trying.
can't imagine. I can't even fathom what you must have been going through, especially on that day. I can't fathom.
Well, and the thing is that we've all just had to deal with all this disconnection shit with these guys, and then with them harassing your kids.
Yes.
And I know that my son received a phone call the other day too, and
They're disturbing. They followed
It's
us.
ridiculous.
They're following us. They're like posting, So they're disgusting. They moved the porta potty.
I heard.
They actually moved the porta potty.
Well, we moved it back for what
What
it's
would they
worth.
Yeah. So
Everything they do is so goofy.
Yeah, it's away from where their property. Like they didn't want it in front of their building,
Oh, wow.
so they moved it to the corner in front of the house that's not theirs.
And they stole the lock.
Yeah. Did
And
they?
Jennifer stole the lock. And then, they given the towing company gave another one. But yeah. So Jennifer right now has a lock.
bring you down to the testing.
That belongs to
there's
us.
like-
It's like a little
But it was so
$3 lock that she stole for the door to a porta
It
potty.
was so much love. It was so much love.
Jennifer stole a lock.
But Jennifer gave us me a bonus because they wanted a different permit, but they can't give them the permit because we had the permit, and they said only I could give them permission to get the permit. So I said I'll talk to them. Did a Zoom call with the Lieutenant Giannis for Street Services. They didn't show up, so I got to bend his ear. I never would have been able to be on a Zoom call with him if it wasn't for Jennifer.
Yeah.
So I think she wants to escape.
And
I think
also
she's trying to work for us.
It makes them look like they're unhealthy. They're unwilling to meet some sort of common ground.
Yeah.
And it was their idea for the
It was her.
That was
She
their
asked
idea?
for it. They asked for it.
There
They
you go.
asked him to set it up. So
There you go.
so she gave me a half hour with the dude to talk to him. So I think Jennifer wants to leave. I think she's like secretly trying to help. I think so. Because why would she let me have that and let me talk bad about Scientology knowing that would happen?
Yeah.
Jennifer's and she's a big liar too.
Yeah,
she's
she is.
horrible.
When we came by there with,
Yeah, she's just ridiculous. But yeah, they're
you know who that is?
no.
His name is Theo Henderson. We the Unhoused.
That's what that is. Oh,
Who is
okay.
it?
Theo Henderson, We the Unhoused. He does. He and I don't get along. As with a lot of people, I had an argument with him about tiny homes.
So did Kathy and
Tiny homes. You know what? There's a scam going on with them. In North, I keep being told they're half empty. Nobody ever sees people coming and going. There's some scam going on with them. And I've
There's a
called them
scam
out.
going on with everything in the city of LA.
Yeah, true.
But my thing with tiny homes is we have 45,000 people on the streets. We have to use every tool available to get people
Yeah,
in shelter and housed.
yeah.
And he was calling tiny homes concentration camps. I said that's that's unhelpful language, and so he had a fit about it. And my thing is, tiny homes aren't for everybody, but they're for some people.
I know people that enjoy, like, actually appreciate the.
If you're living right here on the street, right here,
Yeah.
on a cardboard box, you know what your biggest fear is out here? Is that some drunk guy's gonna come by at 1 o'clock in the morning, leaving the bar and smash you in the
Yeah.
head. They want a shelter to feel a little bit protected, just
Yeah.
a little bit.
You know,
And so
one
tiny
roommate,
homes works
yeah.
for some people.
It
To
does.
automatically say that it's like inhumane for everybody, I don't think they should have 2 per room.
I agree.
There should be 1 or something like that. But
Unless you're like a family, you know each other, you
Right.
know,
If
you
you
know,
have-
or some kind of relationship.
but to outward just be against them, just to be anyway. I had that argument.
But I don't think they're filling them though, because come on, there's so many people that want places, and I hear they're like half.
It's not even that, man. I'm telling you, all the testimony that I saw, which part of the best were actually people outside of LA that were talking about success stories they had in their areas in California, and they were talking about prices that they were charging for a day rate and cost of building overall units. The problem is that there's no transparency or oversight into any of it, and there's no definitions for what's a unit, what's a bed, what is a standard rate for building a unit, what constitutes as a shelter, how do you qualify or disqualify. These are the things that are the most, and every deputy so far has gone and admitted we do not have such definitions. We know they're important. We don't have them anyway knowingly.
It's been going on for years.
And that's why people are saying, Karen Bass.
I'm going in the shade.
Yeah.
I'm burning up over there.
Bass is one symptom. She's gonna likely be used just like they did with Weezar. Weezar he was just the fall guy, but he wasn't the only council member doing massive fraud. But they threw him under the bus and said, look, we won with Weezar. Look how good we did.
Well, the problem you have with Bass is she has emboldened every bad
Oh, I agree.
every NGO that's just the worst.
I agree.
And she's brought them together and gave them a way to benefit because she's been so Olympics focused.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it shifted from Olympics focus to Palisades focus only. But at the end of the day, first off, we gotta get out of the World Cup. We can't do it. We can't do it. We can't sell tickets to the World Cup. They were saying yesterday, ticket sales are way down.
And how are you
Can't do it.
gonna support all the massive influx of?
I wonder, are we going to get them? Are we going to get in this environment right now? Are people traveling here from Latin America to come to World Cup events?
No, and
No.
they're not going to.
They're
And,
not going to.
and a lot of the Olympic events are leaving to other areas. They don't have the infrastructure.
Okay, here, let me show you something. This is Hollywood Boulevard, right? Look down that way. Look down that way.
Not one, yeah.
Look over here. Do you see a single vendor out
Not
here?
one.
No.
And they're
There is not a
usually
single.
loaded.
We're in Hollywood Boulevard, almost at 5 o'clock, and you don't have.
There's
You
usually
don't
what,
have a
like
hot dog
100
vendor
by
over
now,
here.
50?
You don't have the fruit vendor over
November
here.
there
You have people selling the shirts. You don't have anything. You go across on the other side. There are some,
Thank you for coming.
but this is Hollywood Boulevard. It's
Yeah.
all about the
There's like
vendor.
really great scenes.
There
I'm
are
so
no-
glad.
Imagine this same thing, for example, heart of New York City. That would be utterly devastating.
The biggest group of tourists that we get here are Canadians and people from Mexico. Third biggest are people that live here but live in the valley, but come here as a family to visit. When you tell Canada we're going to make you our 51st state, this is a little disrespectful, and they're like, no, I'm not going to give you guys our money. And then right now, I don't think anybody from Mexico feels terribly comfortable coming here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Under any circumstance, right? Legally, illegally, or anything.
True.
So right now it seems like we have a few people walking up and down here. This is
dead.
summer season.
Yes, this is
Summer
absolutely
school's
dead.
out.
And
This
you
is
too.
usually
Peak tourism.
I'm usually annoyed as hell walking down the
Yes.
street, and I walk into the street because I'm like, get the fuck out of my way. You know, it just
Hey,
happens.
Kathy,
It is.
are you watching
I know.
on
And there's
the
nothing
screen?
going on. It's dead out here.
And so it's going to affect all these businesses too.
All these businesses are getting crushed.
Yeah, they're going to probably go out of
All these
business.
businesses, but
Yeah.
what happens then? Then the businesses are paying less taxes, tax receipts. So
Right.
our city finances get even worse.
And then the
We have a
cops
$1 billion
get older.
deficit right now.
Right.
And that's as of a few months ago. We're using data add in all the other factors, and now the protests
It's a call.
We don't mind
Oh.
being. They don't want to be back.
So the city finances are going to be in bad shape, and it's going to lead. Things are just going to get worse and worse. What's going on, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, doing great. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, doing great. I'm gonna let her know you said what's
Tell mom I said hi.
Hey, that's right, bro.
And I
Hey,
have
have
to
a
tell
phone,
you
all right?
Which one?
Sabina.
Sabita.
And the thing is, it wasn't always like this.
We ain't forgot about
It's always
No, no, no. As bad as it is now, with how much worse it's gotten relative to how bad it was.
I haven't gone down here for years.
Hey, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Hey, we love
Remember,
you.
it's been bad for years, and I've been coming down here since.
His mom used to watch on live.
Oh,
I
man.
haven't seen him in over a year or longer.
Have you seen Josiah?
I saw Josiah. I was out here with Josiah last
He's
night.
on
He
TikTok
was
right now.
Aw.
Josiah. He did two things. First off, he went on top of
Follow him on
he went on top of Ben and Jerry's and
and
was doing his jump rope thing up on top of Ben and
He's trying to
Jerry's.
consider it.
And then he was over here, out in the street.
Hello, William.
What's going on, brother?
Tell him his
William, good.
William Goo. No, not good. It's Goo. It's William Goo.
Yeah, I like good. That's good too.
No, it's great. Just because you want to be in a cult, you can walk around in your little socks and stuff, but you're in a cult, brother. You see what I'm saying? They come out here like that, so what's to intimidate somebody like
Yeah.
that? You know my name all this
I mean, you're
time.
not photobombing as well. I won't film you doing
William Good. Hey Shannon, you gotta do better than that, Shannon.
it. Come on, Shannon. Did he come out of there?
Yeah, he came out.
I
Yeah.
didn't even realize that. Oh my gosh.
They're playing a peekaboo game
Very
right
scary.
now.
And he looked like he was like all scared and everything.
Well, he was no. He did that little second guess look where he's like, "Should I do this? I know they told me to, but I don't want the smoke." And he didn't do it until he was over there.
Yeah, he didn't do it. I mean,
You
Yeah.
want to talk to, your dad? You say happy Father's Day to your father.
he's going right.
Skateboard man? I don't think skateboard man's back.
Skateboard man, I saw him.
Which one? The original or the new one?
Abu
The
Dhabi.
Tima one, the Abu Dhabi. No, I saw him at like midnight one night, like 2 weeks ago, and he was like yelling at me. I was on a scooter. I stopped. He came over. He said, "I just want to say I'm sorry, man. I was talking to the I forget who he said. I forget which group. The Moroccan guys. They were telling me that you could help with the police. So I'm sorry. I'll never bother you. Stuff like
So
that.
you better choose what you want.
You guys going in?
This is the place. This is the goofy place right here. Yeah.
Let's go in.
If you do, don't give them your info.
Somebody was at the protest like 20 years ago or something. They signed up for one of the ties. They're maybe 30 years ago. A long time ago. They're still getting harassed. That's not nice, Shannon. I want to see Shannon. I haven't seen her forever.
Somebody emailed me. They're like, "Should I put my ex's contact info?" I was like, "Hey, man, I don't know if you want to go down that route."
What to do or what not to do.
Yeah.
Well, unless your ex is Heidi, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If it's Heidi, then I don't know. It might be a different story.
Yeah, I mean, we're at literal rush hour and there's nobody walking on the street.
Yeah, that's so sad.
That's how bad a
That's
shape
true.
things are in.
Yeah, any word on Sebastian? I don't know.
That's when you start getting signatures, and you got using that
Yeah.
Rolling Stone article.
Yeah, that was too much.
He was out
Sir,
here.
Sir, do you have a quarter?
No, I don't.
You might have a quarter.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
I feel bad for that kid, huh?
It helps me continuing every time I was walking.
Getting on your nerves.
Yeah, right.
I hope this isn't a
Well,
fire
you
call.
guys street man. These guys
Okay.
think
That one time, it was the same situation.
poor soul. He's
Wasn't
been
it you the one
keeps
that
on running in the
was
middle of the street. Like he's falling out.
That's what I was wondering. I'm half expecting this to be for us, but I'm waiting on it.
That's what I'm saying
Well, they're not
too.
making that left.
Huh?
I mean, that car was there before they got there, though, so maybe
Yeah, get some water, yeah. Got some change, I got it.
LAFD! Thank you, LAFD.
And they all need to pay for Crowley too. I'm still pissed off
For what?
how they treated Crowley. Everybody except for Monica. Listen, I don't like Tracy either, but what they did to her was wrong.
It was really wrong.
It was cheap. It was scapegoating.
Yep, absolutely.
And people who understood her history, she is sort of a hero.
She is, and not only that, like they didn't supply her with what she needed and everything, and like she was telling them. This is crazy, so insane.
If people went to Lincoln Heights and saw the size of that yard and the amount of apparatus that's in that yard broken down, you can't understand how big it is once you see it. And you're like,
I want to check it out. I need LA County.
Yeah, I have been trying to stay hydrated.
The hair stuff.
Stop. Yeah, parking lot.
You can get that song TikTok, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Dude, I always watch
so
your shit.
good.
I love that shit.
Okay,
You always
good.
like yelling at me. Weird as fuck.
what do you guys think about this? Weird? Yeah. Where you guys from? You know what it's about?
Nah, I just heard it's like some bullshit.
Weird stuff. So, they think,
Tell them the Xena story.
so this is a story about Xena. You guys watch South Park?
Yeah.
So they actually have a story on South Park. They talk about this. So 48 million years ago, there was overcrowding in early galaxies. So they froze people, stacked them together, put them on aircraft, brought them to Earth, dropped them in a volcano, and then dropped a hydrogen bomb on the volcano. So then the alien spirits rose up, and they took this electronic ribbon, and they captured those spirits. And then they brainwashed those spirits, and they're like, all right, we're going to throw these spirits out all over Earth. And those spirits are going to stick to you guys and me, everybody. Because it's everything that's bad in your life, all your insecurities, all your pain, all your heartbreak, you get rid of those spirits, you'll live perfectly and you'll live forever. And they want to help you get rid of those possible spirits. But it's going to cost you like $500,000 or $1 million.
Or
So
a
that's the
billion-year
foundation.
contract.
You have to
Or a
sign
billion-year
Or a
contract.
billion-year contract.
Either pay or you pay.
So that's the
I know,
silly part,
right?
I'm almost silly part of
forget.
it. But it's actually way more sinister than that, because the people that work right here, they're working 110 hours a week.
Yeah.
And they're not getting paid any money. They get a $47 a week allowance. They're a grown person getting an allowance. And it's $47 a week. You're disconnected from your family. You don't have access to the internet, the TV. You're just coming to work every day, working like a slave, then going back to a compound, sleeping 4 to 6 in a room in an old hospital. And you're doing that day after day. Some of them in here, maybe not Shannon, but others, come here on religious visas. And so now they control the visa, so they're stuck.
Yeah.
And they're working 110 hours a week for no money. And to me, that sounds a lot like Jimmy Crown. And like I say, we think of human trafficking happening in another third world country. Or it's happening. Oh, this is Hollywood Boulevard.
And that's labor trafficking too. For that little bit of money, they try to say religious exemption.
Yes.
That is labor trafficking.
Right here on Hollywood Boulevard, and they're sleeping up there. And then the Hollywood High School is right around the corner. And these kids are walking by, and they're trying to recruit them in there without their parents' permission.
How much property do they own around here?
They own a ton because, listen, they're tax exempt. Since the 90s, they won tax exemption. So to stay tax exempt, you can't just have the money come in. You can't just bank it. You have to use it. Now, they're a religious organization, and their way of putting their money to use is to buy property. This right here, this is the first hotel.
What?
Put the camera down so this lady can go. She's like,
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are not tourists that are staying up there. Those are people that are staying back that are staying up there.
Yeah, good. He's talking.
And offer services down there. And it's building down there, and they have food program down there. They don't put all over.
Sorry guys, somebody didn't want to get on camera.
We have that cult. It's taking advantage of people. It's happening right here in the open. I think, listen, it's getting attention now, right? You know, we've got a lot of cameras out here right now.
Yes,
So
I'm
it's getting
from the
attention,
Midwest.
but you get more.
I came in from the Midwest to do this. A lot of people are coming
And really,
in from all over.
it's your generation that's spoken up. I say it all the time. Like, I'm old, I'm 50 years old. My generation, they were like, oh, don't mess with Scientology. They're scary, they'll harass you and stuff. You kids come out here, I see it all day long. They come to the door, knock on the door, Shannon, Shannon, Shannon. And you know what? So they're not afraid. They're actually mocking you. Unafraid. And that's what's going to shut down Scientology. Nobody's scared of me anymore. There's no reason to be scared of it. And you guys are spreading it among yourselves, spreading it on TikTok and stuff, and it's getting the information out. You guys are the ones to take it down. Like I said, our generation dropped the ball. You guys are the ones that have taken the interest in it. And honestly, this is probably the biggest tourist attraction on Hollywood Boulevard. You go down there, you ever seen the videos when they come the buses? Down there,
Yeah, I seen one video. I think it was from you. Like this kid was like crying and stuff. Like, you want to see the
Dennis is from Ukraine.
he
We
was
found
I
all
like
his social
Dennis.
media, and he looked like he had a happy life. And then he was here, and he had this sadness. And I had shown him some pictures.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I had as a
Entire life. And you could see, it's hard to tell from the video, but I could see it on camera, right? It was just too
you
much.
can definitely tell he was like.
And it's not just her, that Katya, we call her a young lady, she came from Russia. We found her TikTok, like she had 35,000 followers. She's a really good singer and dancer. She probably came over here and they said, hey, you want to be an actress? They took her to the act, they have their
Celebrity
acting
Center.
classes. But they use that just to recruit people. And next thing you know, she's in here, signed a billion-year contract, wearing their goofy uniform.
That's our streets.
harassing classified.
I mean, if we weren't here, they would try to sneak out. But again, these days, every time I come by here, I see kids out here with their cameras filming, and so they go running. So it's easy. They don't really come out much. They're not getting much done. People that do go in there are like your age, and they know what they're getting into. They go in there to mess with us. Yeah, you're gonna go in there. Yeah, go in there. But you weren't gonna fall for it. Nobody's falling for it. Because people know, at the bare minimum, they know something's wrong. They don't have an open mind going into it. They go in there literally just because you're curious about what's going on, or you want to mess with it. Listen, you're in Houston, you're out here listening. Like, if you listen close to the talk about it, then you want to miss it. So how was your day? Maybe you got some video or something. You guys take care. Enjoy your time.
Have fun.
Thanks for chatting with us. Appreciate it.
We have a good trip. I apologize for Hollywood. It's not as nice as you would like it to be, but
Have a good one.
you do. Be safe.
Don't get better.
Listen, I blame Hugo and Bass and Heidi too.
I'm dead serious. I'm thinking about running against you.
I think you
I've been
should.
recruited to
Yeah.
run against you. I've been recruited by people who.
Yeah, you have to unlock.
I gladly stay on the phones and call just for the sake of
It's not really the
going
purpose.
against, helping somebody go against Hugo.
I mean, they would crush me. BSA, the PC, crush me.
And I got her a little.
But, yeah, but it's just so that he's on his toes, because otherwise he's gonna think, oh, it's a cakewalk.
Against him right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Day to see,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I haven't seen Joey.
It'd be
and
crazy
so
if I got him.
And
I asked him
Christmas.
about Church of Scientology's tax.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want it. He's been put on record already. Mindy already asked him right across the street.
Yeah.
And he says he has to research and he'll get back. That was, I believe, May of last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's had enough time to come with an answer. If he doesn't give an answer, that's just the same as saying, I support them.
Absolutely.
You have too much information.
Absolutely.
And you want to talk about your district? Your district has this building, Author Services, L. Ron Hubbard Museum, that building down there, the blue building. This
And
is all
Celebrity Center too? No, never mind. That's
the
next,
media
yeah.
building at the junction.
The media, yep.
Everything in Edgemont and all the little.
And the fact that he's seen us all the time go at meetings down the city, literally.
He lives a few blocks away from the blue building. He knows.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to speak out, then he needs to be held accountable too. I would hammer him.
Yeah.
Now, Church of Science, I was going to run, I was going to run for neighborhood council.
I begged him to. I begged him to.
Well, they got 23 votes, right? I'm like, I can get 23 votes. That's not a problem.
You should have.
But if I had run, how many people from the blue building?
But make him work.
Oh,
for it.
yeah.
No. Blue building can't. That's not the district.
They would register him here.
Yeah,
they would re-register him.
They would,
It'd
yeah.
be worth it to put the work in. But that would just show you something.
But my thing is, I don't like taking losses, and I'd rather save that energy to go up against you.
But you know, if someone steps down, you could be appointed. You don't have to go through an election.
I know. I just felt like a better. If I'm gonna do it, I would do it. And I would say I'm 35.
I want you to. I've been telling you, you need to.
The thing of it too is, anytime I've actually talked to Hugo, he has this soft, weak voice. He is such a wimp, man.
Hugo only knows what he's been told to say.
Yes,
and he is Karen Bass's biggest supporter.
Yes, he's so scared of everything. Yeah.
He just goes with what Karen Bass. They have locked arms. Those two have locked arms.
Yeah.
But if you ask him about it, he has talking points and he can't go off.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was weak when he tried to deny me from going into the.
That was pretty foolish.
First off, that's not gonna work. And I was like, okay, call the cops. Let's make a scene out of it. And the lady, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the lady from the facility, the children's place, she came up to me to apologize. And she said he kept on citing it says private property. She's like, the only reason we have that there is because
it's always
that we can say is private property.
Right.
I know.
Right.
I'll take a picture of it.
But
yeah, I think that the architecture on it is really pretty.
I was weak, he didn't want to answer any questions. He didn't want to answer anybody's questions. People had valid questions.
Well, I've confronted him in the hallway at City Hall all the time too, and he says, I'm busy right now, or he just won't look at you.
He looks down.
He never, still to this day, he will not ever look at me. Even as he's sitting in front of City Council, as he's present there, he will never look at me.
For me, it's half and half.
Ever. He never looks at me.
He looks at me if he thinks, like sometimes I throw him a bone,
No, he either doesn't look at me or gets up and leaves. Those are the only two things he does every time I'm around him. He never looks at me.
Bye. Weathers. Gosh, Shannon.
This is bad.
Yeah, this is empty. I've never seen it like this, ever.
I was actually surprised to not have any traffic on the way here.
What about during COVID? Was it this bad during COVID, or did they
during
sneak out?
COVID, there was so it was very unique, right? During COVID, when COVID happened, there was not a single person out here. I remember I drove through here on a weekend because you weren't allowed to be outside or anything. And I'd say like one tourist walking with their luggage sort of looked like they were trapped or whatnot, but everything else was shut down.
Yeah.
And then since all the stores were closed, they boarded up a lot of stuff. And then the George Floyd protests happened. This entire street was looted. They destroyed this whole street.
I miss a lot of that in the valley, where in the valley was very, very peaceful.
It took years to recover.
And a lot of those people weren't even locals. I remember they came.
I saw everything that happened.
Yeah.
Right? You had the protests that were organic. They'd show up. Then on the side streets over here, 4 blocks away, like early before dark, they would have 10 cars lined up. They'd be out there with their helmets masked up, all that stuff. And it was very well planned. they'd have the protest would go through, and the cops would follow behind the protest, and then there was a void, and they would come and smash up everything. They spent 3 days doing it before the police kind of figured out how to control it a little bit better.
And how different is it from this protest now?
So it's kind of taken up.
Oh, that was way different. This protest now is like a 5 block by 5 block area.
Okay.
It's downtown from, from the 101 to 5th Street, 6th Street.
Yeah.
And that's really, and it's like 5 blocks. So everything's concentrated in one area. And like I say, how many people actually go downtown? On a weekend, who's on a
Nobody.
Saturday or
Yeah,
Sunday?
nobody.
No one.
Who's
Just-
Nobody.
Anyone is courts. The courts in City Hall. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there's
Yeah.
nothing.
I never understood protesting downtown. I always felt it was ineffective.
Streets is literally in the hot seat over there. Why don't you come over here?
Yeah, we ask questions.
The reason I was over here because
You like leaning on
this is my comfort.
He's used to his podium.
I've been doing this. I've been leaning here for 2 years. Just sitting here on the same exact spot.
Yeah, it didn't even bother you. A guy came by, picked up the trash, got the cans out of it. No worries.
Until the bid guy comes, and then
No, the protests back then were different because they were happening everywhere. Venice, West LA, South Central, downtown, Hollywood's a hot spot. Like the way downtown is now, Hollywood was. I've seen a march that started, started La Brea, Hollywood, went straight down to Vine, went up Vine and wrapped around, completely packed, 40,000 people. That was peaceful. Early on, it wasn't. Right now, like very few people are actually causing the destruction.
Yeah.
It's I counted it again. Like I got there right after they hit like that Nike store, Jumpman store. They went after some jewelry stores, but it's calculated, and it's unfortunate because it hurts the overall protest. Paramount was different though. Paramount, people got the story wrong. They thought in Paramount that they went there and arrested people, but it was actually a staging area. One guy pulled up with his truck in front of it and saw it, and he started calling them out, and more people came out there. That was the craziest thing I've ever.
so is this an ice staging where all the
It was a staging, and that was a war zone. Like there was a Home Depot across the street, and it's right on the Compton borderline. And they were going over to Home Depot with getting crates full of like bricks, and they were throwing them in ice, and they shot off so much tear gas and less lethals, and they had to bring in a Black Hawk helicopter to resupply them. That was an absolute war zone. I've never been anything like that.
People ask me why I didn't go down. I'm like, in the chair, I can't.
No, all that was dangerous. That was dangerous.
Yeah, I can't just jump down. I have to have curb cuts. I can't jump down and duck if something's going down.
I spent half my time running from tear gas.
Same.
In Compton, I got hit in the foot. In Paramount, I got hit right here.
By a rubber bullet.
By the
shrapnel. The shrapnel.
It was both. They have the foam bullet, like
the
rubber.
The
But
green
once they
zone.
skip on the ground, that rubber disappears. So it's like a little hockey puck.
Yeah.
When the foam is still on it, actually though, is when it seems like it does more damage. You ever see them? They're nasty, like they tear the skin.
Yeah.
You can really get hurt with it.
I stayed away from it. I was not trying to get hit.
No.
All that stuff.
Well, that's why
on the front line taking the licks. I'm not that person.
Next year they're gonna be like, there's William Good. Let's take it down.
There's this great clip. I'll send you them when I have time to make them. But man, there's this one great one. It's this woman could not have been more than say like 5'3", super scrawny, right? She was clearly backing up. Horse-mounted cop instructs his horse to keep pushing her. She gets pushed down. She's already on the floor.
I saw.
Even worse, another officer then grabs her, drags her on the floor, and then he starts wailing on her.
So that's actually. Brandon's still in there.
No, not yet. We're waiting. That's so freaking funny. I think that.
If Shannon would make so much money on TikTok.
She would.
Well, same with Sebastian. Sebastian would have been
famous.
super famous right now.
He was like the most. Remember, he was like the most searched or something. Like
Yeah.
Like
He
the
had a
hashtag.
Rolling Stone article written about him.
Yes. And like one of like the for the longest time the highest search thing. It's crazy.
He could have gone book deals. He could have gone merchandise deals. Like, think about that.
At this point, all of them.
Yeah.
They could all do very well. I think people would rally behind them.
Oh yeah,
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. Of course, yeah, because we're all like, leave will help you. Like even the horrible ones like Janet and Jennifer.
Imagine an interview with Sebastian right now. How much somebody would pay me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Imagine how much money Jennifer would make as Jen and her man. Maybe an only family.
A Netflix special. Netflix
Yeah,
special.
it'd be rich.
Yeah.
But he's still keeping his 47.
She could be the star. She could be the TikTok star.
I mean, she only has to go a couple blocks from here. Netflix headquarters is right there.
I remember in court one time, I got there a little late. There was one seat left. It was Janet. It was right next to Jennifer.
Yeah.
So I sat there and I was just whispering to her the whole time because it was clear she was about to lose. And I was saying all that stuff, and the judge ended up yelling at me. But I was trying to whisper, but even when I whisper, like my voice was loud.
I love your bag. I love that.
Your whisper voice is like yelling regular voice for everybody else.
I want to tell, because you know what, my theory is that Jennifer wants to leave because she helped us out. She's really working on our side.
She's
helping.
I think her auditing sessions are being very interesting.
Yeah, because I think she does. She secretly or knowingly wants to leave, and she's sending out little help messages.
Yes.
So yeah.
It is very clear that Jennifer.
Yes.
What's her last name?
Crosskoff.
Oh, Bubke.
Bubke, yes.
Bubke.
Wants to leave.
I think she wants to.
I'm convinced. She's trying to help us.
She sent little messages to me when I was sitting next to her, like little whispers. I couldn't make it out. So it was pretty like help type of thing. They should ask her that in her auditing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really clear.
It's pretty obvious.
It is, and Janet too, because Janet. She wants to leave and be reunited with her son.
So I talked to Audit and I back when they were having the religious coalition at City Hall. We met with the one father who introduced us to a whole bunch of other religious leaders, and we're asking if any of them had seen Janet. So guess who I see on the same weekend that we went to the Downtown ICE protest? I see that same father, and I asked him, this has been over 3 months, and I asked him if he's seen it or heard of her. Nothing.
Nobody's seen Janet.
Nothing. She's
She wants to
completely
leave.
off the map. Completely off the
I
map.
noticed
sometimes at those meetings,
they won't send
she
her
looked
anymore.
nervous, but it was a cry for help.
It was.
Like she was sending out sick.
And they won't send her to the meetings anymore. She's not going to any more CPAC
No,
meetings.
yeah.
I hope did they hurt her?
They probably put her in a seat, but maybe going in the RPF will wake her up to get out. Maybe she'll.
She was already in there.
Because
before.
we
She
talked.
was?
Yeah, she's been in there before, so it is really hard on her. You know, I'm sure, but like maybe that will motivate her to cry out for help more because we want. I want to do a wellness. If I'm thinking 3 months, I'm going to ask for a wellness check.
I mean,
Can we do a wellness check? Like, how long would you think it would take to get a wellness? We haven't. She's not been seen in months.
They wouldn't be able to fulfill it.
So we need to get her son to ask.
it's definitely been over 3 months. That was back in March that we talked to.
We need someone. I know how to get in touch with her son, but we just need somebody that can reach out to him, that can really like say, hey.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Stop. She wants to get out. She's not. I hear she's tortured there, in the sense that they make her get dressed up still. She's in so much pain. It takes days to recover. She has very crippling arthritis. Yeah, and this is from Rosemary. Used to be her roommate. Mike Brown got her to escape, and she gave a lot of information on Janet that they just force her. But she's like, doesn't want to retire because that means you sent off somewhere. She doesn't want to be a useless. So she allows us this abuse for the cause.
Where's she stay at? Does she stay in the
Blue building.
They don't even put her.
Second floor.
They don't even put her in the Anthony building.
No, and she's got like a dozen, like a bunch of roommates, and she's spoiled because they have a bathroom in their room, but it's not ADA bathroom, and she has a teeny tiny kitchenette, like a microwave and whatever, So that's considered luxury suites for like her and her 10 roommates.
You know where the
And that's per
stay, right?
Rosemary.
They stay on Fountain and Normandy at the Anthony
Well, they have the big. Well,
They make a big deal every time I get if I post it on YouTube, them coming off that bus.
I need to go
YouTube
down there.
literally takes it down for privacy.
I need to get pictures of them because they are messing with me. And so I need to put all their people out there and get their names. I'm going to do it to them back.
Somebody said they were making a website called the Faces of Missing Scientology or something like that.
I've got some. Listen, in LA, the most important people are really the ones that are coming, getting the bus at 10:30ish.
Oh, at Ivar?
Yeah, Ivar. It's the OSA. It's the OSA.
They're all OSA?
They're all OSA. It's 10:30 bus. Well, I mean, now that we're talking about it, it'll be 10:45.
Yeah.
Like, we've gone to great lengths to document them. We've been sneaking in the shadows. You have no idea.
I know. Remember they hit the bus and they hit it one time. We were down there.
Oh,
we were so nervous. There were so
they
many
hit
of
the
us
side.
there. And we're all trying to get into the window that way. Man, we had some
Well, the
good
thing
times.
is, when they come to that
Back
Anthony
before it
building,
became insane.
right there, and they drop them off, they come there at 10:30, not 10:29, not 10:31, to the second. And so you have to just like, you have to do timing perfectly, because if you get to the bus too quickly, the bus will pull off and drive away.
I know, you was like, don't leave it behind.
So you
I
have
crack
to,
up,
you
man.
have to sit in the shadows just the right way, and then like probably 2 months ago, we're running for the bus, and of course, and I'll never live it down. I tripped on a curb and I just went flying there. It landed on my face. I was all scraped up.
Oh no!
And the first thing I said when I got home, I said, "Are you recording to Jessica?" And she's like, "You are so lucky. Otherwise, I would have been."
If she goes, she would have been posting that up when like.
Well, I've asked DeWarty about that magic scooter crash out you had, and they definitely have.
Recovering now, but my hand, this was like that.
Confirmed to me, they definitely have the crash out video of you on the scooter a while back. LAPD does.
LAPD does?
They 100% have it, bro.
Oh, of course.
They make fun of it all the time. I'm sorry, man.
No, I knew it happened.
They have it.
They caught me crashing a couple times. One time I was running through, even though this was probably not on video, it was like 9 o'clock at night on a Friday, and I was jogging, and I got to the intersection. I saw a police stop happening. I wasn't paying attention, and next thing I know, I tripped. And I had run like 5 miles, and I was a little sweaty, and I landed on like the white line, so it was like a slip and slide. The first thing I hit, I was just sliding.
Oh
and,
no!
Yeah, and 9 o'clock on a Friday, and I didn't think the cops saw me. I got so quickly, I was so hurt. And then like a few weeks later, the lieutenant came up to me. He's like, "How you doing, William?" I'm like, "All right." He's like, "Yeah, my officer said we should probably go for a jog one of these days." I'm like, you guys know. I didn't think they saw it.
But they got all these cameras to top into.
No, yeah.
You know, but what's I gonna say? You know what else I haven't seen? Robot.
Over here?
Yeah, I haven't seen one all like since we've been here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little early.
I want to see you. If we're on here and they come by, will you yell at us for me, please?
They don't really come over here. They'll see a couple. They might go over on the other side of the street, but not so much over here.
I miss it. I miss it.
I saw one in a protest the other day. I got into an argument.
I got in an argument with when we went out for your birthday dinner for 3 inch. I think it's fun. He got me yelling on him. I steal your idea because I just think it's so freaking funny and hilarious and fun.
Waymo cut me off. I told them that they're next.
Yeah, there you go. The thing is, it's funny. It's like I know this voice. Like when I, it's like where do I know this voice from? Oh dang, street. Like the film the police from and then the robots.
Did you see the way those Waymos burn?
Yes.
People were saying they were lining them up on the app deliberately in a line, yeah.
They did. But it was the wildest thing because from the time you set them on fire, within 15 minutes, you know how you have a car fire and there's
Oh yeah.
You still have a frame?
Yeah. It's gone.
Okay, that's scary.
It melted to mush.
That's the problem with electric cars. That battery fire is totally different, man.
It's different.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say 15 minutes, it was just sludge this high on the
Yeah.
ground.
That's
Still on
crazy.
fire.
Yeah.
But just sludge.
That's insane. Am I keeping you?
That was insane. I saw somebody got. They shot off what do they call it? Stinger.
By the
Yeah.
way, what I'm trying to
And
do
it's
is
supposed to shoot him over somebody's head and explode. Hit him right in the face.
inside of the police station, out the gate, and then you come back. Is that okay?
I mean, the weirdest thing is it's always the scrawniest officers sometimes, and they do this they do this thing where they just point and they scan like this, and you know it's deliberate. They'll just constantly scan and then they put it back down, and it's like,
When they point at me, I'm like, what did I do? I just know one thing: when somebody throws a water bottle over my head, I just get the fuck out of there because they're gonna shoot. If a water bottle comes at them, they're shooting in that direction.
yeah.
Get the hell away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I can't do that kind of protest. Like I would love to go check it out, get some footage, but
Well,
like,
the only reason
I
why
can't
we didn't get
duck
the only reason why we didn't get pelted all that much is because there was one cop that came at the blue building that was explaining why they didn't have the body cam on back when Michael was arrested.
Oh yeah.
He and I are on good terms, and I was trying to take a video of Shrimp when he was right in front of the line of skirmish, and I'm like, you better watch us, and he's like, I got you, don't worry.
Okay.
So everybody else got shot at, but except us. So.
Awesome. That's good. See, yeah, you always had that on one. But that's what I mean. When Shrimp when he gets the badge, he's going to be on speed dial, and you're going to have to take care of my friends.
Every time now that we have a new permitted event, he's gonna be the first.
Yeah, be like, I got my permit.
He's gonna be on off patrol.
And then after I give you the permit, I will text Twyla as well at the same time.
There you go. I think he loves Twyla. I think he has a crush on Twyla. Shrimp. Yeah, I think so. You have a crush on Twyla? Yeah.
I have a crush
She's
on
pretty, but she's
I have
just-
a crush on every Scientology lady.
He desperately wants to be
He's the one who
Scientology.
told him the girl down there.
Ooh, that was a letter, right? That was so funny.
Oh, actually, yeah. Which one?
The girl.
Over here? Actually?
Yeah, it's not
The Ripley's.
Not working right now, though. But they sent a letter saying that she called them a cult and stuff. We send business to you. No, they don't send. Nobody sends. You don't send business out.
They
No.
do
No,
not.
they don't help any business at all. How to do it.
And I don't care. It is what it is. It's a cult.
Yeah.
They don't help anybody out but themselves.
Yep.
You know what they did with that letter? It's posted in their break room. It was like
Really, like a joke?
they don't care.
That's so funny.
It's probably a badge of honor. It's how you get promoted.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
love it.
I love it. It's like, okay, well, look, I got
She
mine.
posted it on
That's so freaking hilarious. I hope it starts pulling off.
see how it's a tourist attraction.
Come on,
In
Joey.
other countries.
Yeah, but the tourist is because it's June. It should be dinner time in June. It should be packed.
What they should start doing is, if they really wanted to stop all the staring, just have the personality test booth out here in public in broad
They
daylight.
used to do that.
Yeah, that's what they used to. They can't. We shut that down. You know.
Well, I mean, like 20 years ago, they used to have
Yeah.
a street line with desks, and they would come and they would
Just that.
do your personality test. They would have their the e-meters out here and everything, and they'd sit out here doing it. Big difference now, huh?
Yeah. I hope I don't even know how chat's going. I can't even read chat. So chat, hopefully, chat is being kind.
That's so sad. You see a food truck driving around, not even parked out
Yeah, you
to
can't
get
find
food.
where to stop.
Isn't that depressing?
There's no vendors out here at rush hour.
I know, that's crazy. I was like, not that I want one, but like, where do you get the hot? You know, there's hot dogs, vending hot dogs.
Yeah, they're always
They're
out
open-
here.
always.
There's always a lady right there. She's
Yeah.
always sitting right there.
And your favorite one?
She's barely ever out here. Nobody's out here. All the
Sad. They kind of take away from the culture of.
it takes away from the culture of Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood. And I think sometimes, like, whatever, bigger, like federal, state, whatever, they don't understand the local mores, culture, whatever. And it's just-
That's why, what started as a small thing, but getting people to attend all those different meetings is how you get pressure, because
Yeah.
you have no excuse to say, we didn't know, not enough information,
'cause we're all
not enough
informing you.
people.
Yep.
People might not like it, but you have to go through that process. You gotta check the little box to say you did it.
I love going to the meetings.
I
with
know.
my
What are
team.
they gonna do with my name soon?
Yeah, I love it.
No, it's true.
You maybe. Oh man, kids do not. Kids can't consent, man. The kids cannot consent. No more kids in Scientology. Show your tattoo. No more kids in Scientology. I know. I hope they didn't audit. I just feel like sick to my stomach right now. Like child abuse has happened. I feel really like.
So they just completed a session?
Probably,
They just completed a study session?
Audit, yeah.
Audit. That makes me sick and
That
sad.
was pretty fast. That was like just an hour.
But what questions did they ask him? They asked sexually explicit questions. I feel like asking what kind of questions did they ask you, but
They would know.
I know they're not gonna say. I wonder if the dad was. No, they don't let the dad in. I bet.
You notice everybody came out and it was black.
Yeah.
Nation isn't.
Yeah. It's all NOI.
But you know that he was.
And
He
again,
said.
there's a reason why they're doing it. They're trying to create a rift. Like I said, Cutsy has been out here. I've been out here with Cutsy, and guy trying to start a fight with him. Was putting on his glove, ready to fight him and stuff. That happened twice at the same time.
Crazy,
They're purposely, and they get something to the side doors, like they usually do.
Yeah.
Any other coursework, and they send everybody else to the side door. People are here, but they purposely do it. They're trying to start fighting.
And
People are asking you if your BFF Joey has given you any thank you letters recently.
He told me he was going to kick my ass about a month ago, and then
we're waiting. We all want
and then
pay-per-view for that.
He felt goofy after that. And then
We want
I saw him
pay-per-view.
again after that. And he just looked away. He doesn't. I don't think he wants anymore.
We're talking about morning.
Joey got beat up.
That must be.
He got in a fight,
Yeah.
and it was on video. And I got my hands on the end of the video.
And they're not going to help him
Joey,
anymore.
I said, Joey, you know, you were on the ground. You lost that
He's a
fight that you
liability.
started. He's like, no, I was not on the ground. I said, Joey, here, what about that? He's like, now, Joey
Liability.
stays on my way. He wants to get publicity. He's like, any publicity is good. He takes abuse. He loves it. I think it's got to the point. I think people around him said, stop.
Yeah.
He's always made himself seem like a victim. I've told this story already. Somebody went to a therapist on the west side, and they were talking about something about Scientology, and they said the therapist did something wrong because they were like, yeah, there's that guy that harasses people related to Scientology. And they said who? And they said that guy William Booth. I thought, they thought they were going to say like ZD.
That's so funny. Yeah.
You know, but they said me, and they're like, who? Like he's been following my client around. And they had to take him to court or something like that. And they're like, Joey? They're like, yeah, he's been harassing Joey. He's been stalking Joey. And they showed the video of Joe. I ran away from Joey, and he ran after me.
Wow.
I had to get on a scooter to get away from him. He was like, and at the same time, he's saying, I'm stalking.
Right. That's what he does. He's such a. But I miss him. I low key miss him and the dog.
Make sure you add the scooter fees over to your attorney fees as well.
He's never going to pay that. Right now, we're dealing with Francois. Francois is
she's.
to beat him.
Yeah, I know. I was reading up on the case.
She's running. They're trying to serve her. They can't find her.
But can't you? Since he admitted to Scientology helping him, can't you go after them?
Because it's against them.
What did
In front of over there?
I gotta go over here and see how the chat's doing.
What did wasn't it Slow White that talked to Francois privately to say you should consider an RO against William?
So it's hard to. Francois said in court that she went to the police and senior lead officers recommended getting the RO, but police were unwilling to testify.
That's
and it was
true.
so we don't know which one it is, and that could be Francois lying. But Joey said the same thing too. Joey said a specific detective, Ertzman, something like that, said to get an RO against
From Northeast or Hollywood?
But yeah, no, we can't get Scientology to cover the fee. Joey will never, they're never going to get paid for Joey. And Francois Francois hasn't paid anything. She offered a deal of $10,000. Too late for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they? So what would they offer as some sort of alternative service to get her to be subpoenaed?
We're gonna come after her assets. We'll get them.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I figured.
You got a business. You got
Right,
a house,
right.
and
You-
you got multiple cars.
Yeah, did you get her assets?
And her house is like 1.5 million. She has a note of 500,000. She's got $1 million extra.
Now, would that be lien,
Yeah.
or would they be able to get
Yeah,
the?
put a lien on it.
Yeah.
Put a lien on her credit card processing or business bank accounts. Imagine operating a restaurant and you can't take credit cards.
Maybe you could get that sweet Tesla she has too as part of collateral. Just no more scooters now. You're living the high life on a Tesla.
She was talking so much junk to me too. Cause I remember after we won, I went to her. I'm like, you were gonna pay that money. She's like, no, I'm not.
You guys leaving?
No, I'm just coming over here. I thought I was.
No, there's no way. There's no, that's the.
This looks like a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it's so quiet. The fact that I can hear you and it's picking up on the phone, it's very weird.
It's Friday. I mean, it's summer at 5:30.
We're gonna get. I'll try to not touch the building so I don't.
Even the tour vans, you notice they can't get anybody in there right now. Not one person's going into the theater.
Audit, can you send me,
Okay.
drop me off at
No pushing, Dr.
Yeah.
Gordon.
All right, you got to head out.
You want? Well, no, he does. I'll come
Okay.
back. Because he needs my
Thank you.
You want me to give you I'll give you money for it?
No, you already gave me.
Oh, you need the
No,
top part?
I don't need the money. What I mean, you're gonna use.
I was going to ask you a question, but she's not muted, so I'll ask her after.
No. I'm gonna go to my school to renew my card. I don't need a card. Yeah.
The Stop LAPD Spine Coalition people were there, and we already talked about it. I was like, they went up to Audit, and there's one. She's like she looks like she's college age, super skinny white lady. I think her name's like Megan, and she was telling Audit, why are you talking so good about the LAPD? Blah blah blah. LAPD equals bad, and I'm like, her permit and the aid was legit. Like that, you got to commend her for that. It's a good thing. You can't just label the whole thing as bad. That's just not how life works.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that just drives me up a wall, man. It's like that's just not reality. You can't do that.
One thing I would say is Stop LAPD Spine Coalition took a couple of hits this weekend. Jason got shot,
Yeah.
and then Shakir, the lawyer that handled all the picture
CPRO.
releases
Yeah,
and the
CPRO.
badge numbers, he got hit. He's actually handling a number of my things right now. And so when they got hit, there's a lot of anger at the LAP right now.
Yeah, it is kind of.
With the Stop LAP.
So that's probably where that came from, because it was.
It's right now is an emotional week
Yeah.
after those hits.
Yeah.
You know, 3 of them, Richie, Shakir, and Jason all got hit with it.
I saw. I forget his name, but a cat with news.
Matt,
Yeah.
Sean,
Yeah. Sean. There. Yeah. Sean. Yeah.
that's my guy. That's like my best friend.
Yeah. They were being nice to him. I was standing by, just covering him to make sure.
No, they're gonna be cool with Sean. Sean's
Yeah.
cool with everybody. Sean did good work. Yeah, Sean did some good work.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is, I never charge for any of the video, but if you go out there and film something each day, you can, that's a $2,000.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my stuff ended up getting restreamed, and people were saying, "Go charge money for it," and I'm like,
But
I'm happy that people are actually seeing the actual reality and countering all the nonsense. Like that's
always, so I get in trouble. I have not one time overcharged.
I have,
One time,
yeah.
And I never will.
Yeah.
Because my thing is just want to get the stuff out here.
Yeah, or people are saying, why don't you copyright? I'm like, no, none of
When I was
that.
in Paramount, ABC reached out and asked me to
You guys want to go
and I was
for
like, how
a,
the fuck do you get myself
tour?
I was annoyed by that. But I was like, go ahead and do it because I want the world to see what the hell is going on. With that not being said, if you're doing this for a living, definitely charge because they're making money.
Yeah, I agree.
If you give CNN or if you give ABC they say, can we use your video? They use it. They're posting it on their TikTok and on their YouTube, and they're making money off those millions of views. So at least charge $100, $200. They're gonna pay it. But it's always been principle with me where I just I don't. My robot videos, they ask me.
And Laura's coming on.
Like this police stuff, it's just. I always said anybody can use it. Anybody. Just don't like get me out. Like just steal it as your own video.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
I don't care. I always wanted information to get out.
I love you guys.
I would love to see somebody dedicate a whole thing as a commentary channel on all this stuff. That'd be great. Just like all those, I mean, it sounds weird, but it's true. There's people literally making reaction videos to other people eating food for hours on end. And so if that can be successful, then I would hope to God or wherever it is out there in the universe that
something out there for everybody.
for
Like I said, I was out here last night jumping rope in the literally
I
in the
would
middle
love-
of the street.
yeah.
Just give him a hug, honey. Oh, you're not hugging. Tell him I said hi.
I gave him a hug and I had to go take a shower because he was so sweaty last night. he was because it was empty out here, so he was going to the middle of the street. So we would just walk and film him going along. Then he went on top of the Ben and Jerry's. Which I don't know how he got up there, and he was jumping rope up there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nobody does it.
Yeah.
I want to say something.
Oh yeah, here.
my teeny tiny little channel.
Yeah, no, I would.